Breaking news into SportsCenter. David Lloyd and Brian Custer here with you, and let's dive right in. Adam Schefter, what can you tell us?
All right, David, we have a new hiring in the National Football League. The Baltimore Ravens, a short time ago, reached agreement with Chargers defensive coordinator Jesse Minter on a 5-year contract to bring him back to Baltimore, where he started his NFL coaching career in 2017. He worked underneath John Harbaugh from 2017 to 2020 in Baltimore. He visited Baltimore on Wednesday and did not leave the building. The Cleveland Browns were hoping to get him in. That didn't happen. He did not wind up visiting the Browns. Instead, he gets a deal done with the Baltimore Ravens to keep him in Baltimore for at least the next 5 seasons. And he'll have the job and the task of replacing the head coach that he used to work for in Baltimore, John Harbaugh, after spending the last 4 years in Los Angeles working, or the last couple of years in Los Angeles with Jim Harbaugh, also in Ann Arbor with Jim Harbaugh. Lots of familiarity with the Harbaughs. Now has to replace John in Baltimore.
So, Adam, the Ravens said they wanted to go in a new direction. You've talked about that he's coached under Harbaugh. How will Minter try to be different than the man he coached under for a few years?
Well, if we look at the history of the Ravens' head coaching hires, Brian Billick and Ted Marchibroda had offensive backgrounds. John Harbaugh had a special teams background, and Jesse Minter is the first coach in franchise history that comes from a defensive background, which seems interesting for a team and a franchise that we think of defense when you think of the Baltimore Ravens. He brings that defensive acumen, that intelligence into Baltimore. It's what they were looking for, but let's be honest here. Despite his defensive specialties, his biggest challenge and his biggest test will be the relationship that he forms with Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson and how that situation manages itself, because Lamar Jackson did not play up to his usual self last year. A lot of questions about Lamar swirling all around the league, and it will be up to Jesse Minter to forge that relationship and make sure Lamar Jackson is happy so that he can get the best out of Lamar Jackson in Baltimore.
All right, so with